Hello everyone, welcome to Amy's Bookshelf and welcome to my beginning of 2023's TBR Clue. So in this video, I'm going to first off give my rules for how I play my game, and then I'm going to work into my TBR, which is a little different this month because of the Whodunnitathon. I'm going to start off right now by saying I'm not even attempting to finish my TBR goals. I'm just not even gonna. It's halfway through the month almost, and I have too crazy of a life to make sure I read those books before I actually leave on my trip. So hence, we're skipping that part. Okay, so the rules of my game are, every month I pull out 9 prompts from this mug, which then dictate how my game works. So I pull out one for each room. So the first one I pull out is for the hallway, the second one's for the lounge, the third one is for the dining room, and so on and so forth. Now, in order to win at the game, I have to reveal all of those cards. I deal out 2 cards per each room that I don't know what those cards are. Meanwhile, I put 2 into my envelope, which has the final result, the whodunit, the person, the place, and the weapon. And I'm trying to discover that by revealing the other rooms via process of elimination. So I'm going to pull out prompts. And so for example, the hall, I pull out, let's pull out this one. If I pull out this TBR pull, I have to read a book that's according to this prompt. Or I could pull out a book from the 1900s, and I have to read a book from the 1900s. So I have lots of different prompts in here. However, I also have prompts that are very specific to TBR Clue. Those ones are ones that I have put in here for this month only, but they are prompts like the library. Or, let's see if I can find another one. There's another room, the lounge. So I have rooms, I have weapons in here, like right here is the knife. Oh goodness, that's not gonna show. Knife. I have all the people in here too, including Mr. Body, and all of them come with their color. So I can use any of these characters or rooms to manipulate into a prompt. I have taken the dining room to be one about food. I can take the ballroom and do it into a book that has some sort of event, like a ballroom dancing scene or something. I can work it how I want. In regards to the characters, I always have a list that I go to that has all of their information about where each character, according to the Clue lore, was raised, how they lived, different quirks about them, different things to know. Like, did you know that Mrs. Peacock had 5 husbands? That's according to the lore. So I can pick a book for someone who has multiple spouses. Like that. So yeah, I can do a lot of different things, and I like to work it as I can. So the goal is very simple. It's to read those 9 books for those 9 rooms, and then I can automatically reveal 2 cards every time. And if I read all the rooms, I therefore automatically reveal all the cards and have a free guess, an easy guess. If I do not read all 9 rooms, then I might have one room where I have to guess which weapon it is or which person it is, because I don't have all the information. So that's where my risk reward comes in. I can possibly win even if I don't have all the information. I have a new thing that I added in the most recent few months, and I really enjoy it. It's my spinner wheel. And if I guess correctly, I get a reward. It used to be punishment, but I don't want to do punishment. I want my reading to be fun and really enjoyable. So instead of having a punishment for guessing wrong, I get a reward for guessing right. If I guess right, I get a reward off this wheel. It can be something like an Agatha Christie, which I read 1 a month. It could also be a simple book that's a double up. It can be a reread, because I love to, but I just never prioritize it. It could be something as simple as a challenge book. So that could be for like Buzzwordathon. It could be for a readathon book. I have lots of variety, and all these prompts helped me out. And if I get this, I can switch out the prompt I win for any of the prompts I choose on the board. Another thing I do every month is I pull 2 authors from the jar. I did it all of last year. I'm still doing it. And I really enjoyed this process of really, culling down my collection of classics I'm not going to read. I've really enjoyed trying new authors and finding some I really enjoy and finding some I'm ready to move on from. So I will be pulling 2 authors out of this jar. They could be authors from Charles Dickens to who else could it be? Like Ellen Montgomery, Winston Graham. I have so many authors in here, and I probably should update it to have more authors that I've purchased since. But right now we are not updating this jar. I will probably make a whole video about that eventually. But right now we'll be pulling out 2 names from this jar, and I'm trying to add them into my TBR somehow. If not, I still need to read them and at least attempt their work. There is a caveat with that, in that if I choose to say I pick out, I don't know, Ellen Montgomery, and I'm really not in the mood for that kind of book, I can put Ellen Montgomery back and choose another one at random, or just choose another author who I'd like to try, who I know is in that jar. And as long as I'm reading 2 of them a month and figuring out if I want their works or not, I'm happy with that goal success rate, because it definitely is taking down my collection at least 2 books a month in the read or unhauled category. Another thing that I was doing last year, but I forgot to verbally mention, is that I am trying to read 1 nonfiction book a month planned. I love reading nonfiction, and I miss it when I don't read it. So I'm gonna be trying to verbalize a nonfiction pick every month. And along with that, I'm also continuing my rule of having a 15 book limit for myself. Now, for some people this might feel extreme, but when I introduced this, I feel like it got a good response, and it's been really good for me. When I make a TBR, I'm limiting myself to only 15 books on that list. I tend to overload myself, and then I feel very guilty for not getting to those books. So if I make a 15 book list, then I can actually say these are the books I am prioritizing, the books I need to read, and the books I want to read, and then everything else is just extra, and I have found that to be really successful. So that's still a rule going forward. So I think that's it for my TBR Clue rules, but now we're gonna go into how it's gonna be different for January, because it is Whodunnitathon, which is a readathon hosted by myself, Paige, and Danielle. I will link their channels down below along with our announcement videos. This readathon is about our games, our TBR games, and how you can work it. You don't have to read mysteries, but if you check out my announcement video or the other 2 announcement videos, I'm sure they'll make a lot more sense. It's really just read what you want and make it fit prompts that you want to. So in honor of this readathon month, I'm only putting in my mug the rooms, the weapons, and the characters. So I have not put anyone else in, I have not put any other prompts in, and I'm going to pull out 3 rooms, 3 weapons, and 3 persons from this for my TBR game. If I pull out 4 rooms in a row, I'm gonna disregard the 4th room and keep pulling till I only get characters and weapons and rooms, 3 of each limit. So I am not randomly picking my prompts are being picked for me. The last thing I'd like to make known before I move forward with this TBR is that I am playing as Mrs. Peacock. So I'm going to roll a 6-sided dice, and I'm going to see how many days extra I get. I loved Mrs. Peacock growing up. I was always Mrs. Peacock or Professor Plum. I loved them so much, so I'm going to be playing as Mrs. Peacock this month, and hopefully for future iterations, I will choose different characters. So let's roll this and see what number I get for extra days. Not so great, but it's a 2. That's 2 more days extra, so I can start on the 29th of December. Okay, 2 days extra for Mrs. Peacock. That's my ability. Next order of business is my 2 author polls. Let's see who I get this month. I don't know. That's not ideal. Okay, Tacticus, and oh, I don't want to read this either. John Steinbeck. I'm gonna get them. Okay, so Tacticus is the histories, which I believe this is Greek. Let me just see. Roman nonfiction history. So it's ancient literature, ancient nonfiction. I was kind of saving this for July, or not for July, for June, for Ancients-a-thon again. I love saving my big books like this, but I'm gonna give it a try. Let's see if it fits into any of the rooms or any of the people. The other author I got was John Steinbeck. Ugh. I have these 2. So let me explain my relationship with John Steinbeck. I have read The Pearl, loved it. I have read Of Mice and Men, didn't like it at all. I'm glad I eventually pulled John Steinbeck, because I was never going to reach for his books without this forcing. So I have here of The Grapes of Wrath and East of Eden. I'm not sure what I'm gonna read. I don't know if I like John Steinbeck's work. It's been very depressing, and I don't like depressing books, but I also need to actually try them since I own these 2 books. So I'm gonna pick which one. Let me know which one you think I should read down below. I don't know anything about any of them. I know that this is about a Depression era family, I think, and this one is about a really horrible woman. That's all I know. I clearly have no interest in investigating, but please let me know down below which ones you think I should try, and we'll see if I like it. I might even do a Timeless Tomes video on it if I finish it. I've not done one of those in ages. So yeah, let me know which one you think I should pick up first. They're both big. It won't make a difference. All right, so I'm gonna now grab the cards so we can set up for next month. Just in case anyone was curious about last month, we had The Study, Miss Scarlet, and The Wrench. So I don't think we've had Miss Scarlet in a while. All right, let us now set up for the next month. Right now I'm filming on December 10th. So I have no idea about what readathons might be happening in January aside from ours, but I will definitely be reading a Buddy Read, and that's all I can plan on right now, which is the next book in the Joe Nesbo series. I don't remember what it's called. I'll put the picture up here. That's my next read, and I'm reading it with Berna and Nikki. So we have that coming up. Aside from that, I have nothing else planned, and I really would like to have a chill month. December right now is not fun. So I would like to make it a bit more enjoyable and more low-key, which is perfect for our readathon. So I'm gonna hopefully have a nice, easy month of reading. Last one, The Room. All right, that's ready. Let's go to the board. First one, what will we get? Character, weapon, or room? It's a room. The library. So for the haul, we got the prompt of the library. Now, I thought about this for a little while, and I chose to go with my Buzzwordathon book, which is The Bookish Life of Nina Hill by Abby Waxman. This one I bought when it was exciting, and I then started hearing some other things, but mostly I'm like still interested, and I haven't unhauled it. So I would like to give it a try. I also would like to preface all of this, because I forgot earlier, I do not have to read any of these books. I have to fulfill the prompts, but the books I'm saying to you, I do not have to read unless I really want to, and I typically do. Next one is The Wrench. For the Lounger, got the weapon of the wrench, which I am putting into this place, Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I have a very hard time with this book because I was trying to read it years ago when my grandfather was passing away. And when he was actively dying, I was trying to pick up a book about a pandemic. This is a book that I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to finish or not because of how it makes me feel. And because of that, I'm putting it into the prompt of wrench, as wrenches twist things. They can twist your emotions sometimes. So yeah, I'm putting this in here because this book has a really difficult spot for me, and it makes me feel all twisted up inside when it comes to reading a book like this. This is my book club book for the month, so hopefully I do get to it. But yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna feel about it. Next one for the dining room is this one. Colonel Mustard. We've got one of each so far. For the dining room, we got the prompt of Colonel Mustard. So this could be the color yellow, or it could just be a war book or something. I'm gonna go with a yellow book because I have an arc, which is The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. She is the one who wrote The Lost Apothecary, and I really enjoyed that book. So I'm excited to pick this one up. It comes out in March. I don't know anything about it. I just know it's Sarah Penner, and I really enjoyed her other ones. So I picked it up, and you can see the cover has a lot of yellow, kind of yellowy orange. I think it totally works for this, and I'm really not going any farther than the color of the cover. For the kitchen, we've got Mrs. Peacock. For number 4, I reached for another arc because I got the prompt of Mrs. Peacock, and I wasn't sure what to do for this one. I was trying to figure it out a few different ways, and it just wasn't working. So I ended up going with an arc that I was supposed to read a while ago. I I think a couple years ago now. And that is A Mockingbird's Song by Wanda Brunsetter. Now this one is an Amish mystery, and shortly after taking the ARC, I realized I'm not into Amish mysteries anymore, or Amish books generally. So I'm not excited for it, but I do think that it's been a long time since I've read one of those, so maybe it'll be a good thing for me. All I know is it's a mystery, and it's the second book in a series, but I'm not going to read book 1 first. I'm just going to read book 2. So yeah, that's possible for Miss Peacock, as both of them are birds in the title. For the ballroom, we've got the lead pipe. For the lead pipe, I'm going with one of my books, which is Tacticus, so the histories. I'm picking this one because based on what I looked up, it says that this one is based on the 1 year where there are 4 different empires or emperors in place. And that sounds like a very toxic relationship drama to me. And lead pipes are not considered toxic, so I'm going to go with that. I know that this one probably also involves a lot of architecture, and they had a lot of water around, so maybe that's part of it too. I'm stretching it a little, but yeah, I'm gonna go with that. And if you really want to go particular, these columns are kind of shaped like a pipe, long and narrow. Anyways, this is gonna be my toxic book for lead pipe. For conservatory, we've got the revolver. That is our last weapon of the room, or of the game. The next one I got was the revolver, and this one I really wanted. I wanted to do something really fun with it, and I wanted to play Russian roulette with my arcs. So I have a list here of 5 arcs. Some of them you've already seen, but that's okay. And then I did a random number generator, which I got the number 5, so that was my Russian roulette pick. And I ended up picking out Cleopatra's Daughter. This one is by Jan Dracott, and this one is about Cleopatra's daughter after I think it's Cleopatra and Antony's daughter. Anyways, it was an arc. It comes out in April. I didn't need to read it now, but I'm excited. It's a nonfiction, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be another part of Egyptian history that I don't know much about, so that's gonna be a good time. So yeah, my Russian roulette picked my latest arc. So, I mean, it's good to get to them early, I guess, instead of forgetting. Next one is this one. It's The Study. The next one I got was The Room of the Study. So I am picking another ancient Egypt book, which is another arc. So this is Empress of the Nile. I can't remember the author's name right now. I forgot to write it down. But this one is about a woman who spent a lot of money into the research for ancient Egypt, like archaeology and in Egypt. And she was very fundamental in a lot of those progressive moments. So I think this is good for study. It's about a study thing that I like to learn about and enjoy. It's also about a woman who is helping forward the study of archaeology, in my opinion. So that one will work great for the study. For the library, we have Dr. Orchid or Mrs. White. And now we just need one more room. Next, we got Dr. Orchid or the color white. I'm gonna go with Steinbeck here. Couple of reasons. One, Dr. Orchid, an orchid grows, and we have East of Eden, and we also have the Grapes of Wrath, both of which are things that grow. This one is also a white book, and this one's kind of off-white. That's pulling it a little. I will say I'm a little more interested in this one based on the fact it's not like just Depression era book, so I probably will lean towards this, but I do really want to know your thoughts on which one I should pick up. But yeah, I figure like both of these can count for a growing item like an orchid. That's a stretch, I know, but it is what it is. And I might pick something different, but for now, these are it. Yeah, this one is the lounge. The last room we got the lounge. Now for this one, I'm going with one of my other arcs that comes out in March, and that's called A Novel Proposal by Denise Hunter. This one is about a woman who is an author, and she is required to change genres and start writing romance, but she has never fallen in love. So her friend invites her to her little beach side house or whatever for the summer. So it's kind of an apartment, not kind of apartment, kind of a vacation lounging. And she meets some people and meets a curmudgeon along the way. So it sounds cute, sounds great, and I'm excited to pick that one up. I have one more arc that I do need to read, which is called I'm Not Charlotte Lucas. And it's about a girl named Charlie, I believe, who loves Pride and Prejudice and loves Persuasion, or not Persuasion, but loves Jane Austen. And she feels like her life is Charlotte Lucas, not Elizabeth Bennet. So I think it sounds like a really cute and fun, modern contemporary retelling of Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, but also I love Charlotte Lucas, so I'm glad to read a book from her perspective. So yeah, really excited for that one. I could not put it in anywhere else because I just felt like that was cheating too much, as the cover is clearly Professor Plum, clearly garden stuff, so maybe that could go into the Dr. Orchid stuff, but I don't know. I'm excited. So as you may have noticed, I don't have an Agatha Christie on here. That is because I don't know what I'm going to be reading. I like to try to fit my books around the Read Christie 2022 or 2023 project, which that has not come out yet. So I'm going to be waiting until those prompts come out, and then I'll be able to pick a book. But I don't have that on here. I don't have that one here, and I am not sure which one I'll pick. I will be trying to pick a new one. I am thinking that this year, spoilers for a goal or series video, I'm going to try to finish Miss Marple and Hercule Poirot books this year if I can. That's a total of 15 books I have left, so maybe I can do it. So probably one of those, but otherwise we'll make it do. We'll make do. My last thing is that I'm also going to be participating in the Golden Girls Reading Challenge all year long, put on by Rachael Fryman. She will also be linked down below, and I am excited to do it all this year because I was doing the Read Your Bookshelf Challenge, and now that the format's changed, I don't really love that. And I understand that that's going to be great for some people, but not for me. So I'm going to go on to a different reading challenge, which is the Golden Girls. So the prompt for this month is a book with a competition. I'm not sure what I'm picking yet. I feel like Empress of the Nile might work as like competing for the digs and competing for the fines. That could possibly work. This one might work as it's like competing for your life, trying to survive in an awful Roman Empire. I don't know, I'm gonna make it work. I haven't decided yet, but there's a few options here for me, and I'm gonna try finishing them month by month when they have been put in. So yeah, this one might be that. I also might have, I don't know, I have some like really fun YA books about like competing bakeries and competing stuff, so I don't know, we'll see. I also have Tweet Cute, which could work for Mrs. Peacock, I realize that now, so maybe that'll be switched. I don't know. But yes, Tweet Cute, which is I think arrivaling bakeries, so that could be fun. Yeah, a few options. So I think that is all the books I am going to prioritize. I have some nonfictions on here. I have some difficult ones on here. And I have a lot of arcs, which is going to be good to start off the year. And along with that, I have my buddy read of Phantom, which is by Jo Nesbo. Thankfully, it is not nearly as long as the previous book, because the previous book was 700 pages. No, thank you. This one's like 350. So that's going to be good. I'm excited to get back into the world, so hopefully I enjoy it. I was enjoying the series until the last book, so I'm hoping it picks up again. But yeah, we will see what happens in the month of January. So please let me know down below if you are reading for the Whodunnit Readathon and what prompts you're doing, what character you are, all of that stuff. I'd love to know down below. Also, if you'd like to like this video, hit the thumbs up. Also subscribe and click that notification bell if you'd like to be notified for my next video. All of that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.